Hi everyone. Welcome to all XENA users and those of you who are new to us. Uh, I'm thankful to XENA for giving me this opportunity to talk about something I'm very passionate about. So please bear with my enthusiasm. Okay, last time, last two sessions we covered broad aspects of what are remedies, how they are made, and the fact that these are actually energy remedies. This is significant in that there are no chemicals that you are ingesting. Okay, the dilution is extremely large. You can also apply them to your hands, face, and still get the desired effect. And hence the statement that these are energy remedies, not chemicals. Therefore, you can't overdose, you can't have too much. They are not habit forming, they're not in any way harmful to you. Now, uh, continuing on my last discussion, there are two clear approaches uh, to prescribing Bach remedies. The conventional wisdom has been let the person just talk for 20, 30 minutes, uh, listen to what they say, and based on their words, look up the book and pick up the remedies. It's called peeling the onion. Let the person talk. After 30 days, have another session again after 30 days. Now, this might take you months and years to actually get to a point of deep healing. I'm an empathetic person. If I take on a case, I really want to see that person well in 3 to 4 days, right? A week at the most. Now, it doesn't mean that chronic conditions that have been there for 20, 30 years will go away in 5 days. But at least the person gets a lot of relief and they begin to believe that Bach remedies will work for them. Now, to achieve this, I follow a more structured, methodical approach. I'm basically a techie, so in any case, method is important to me. I have divided the human condition into 5 layers. The first layer is crisis today, okay? Some kind of trauma at the moment. The next layer is past. What are the issues you are carrying forward from your past? Third layer is anger, because anger can block everything. The fourth is fear, and similarly, if there is a lot of fear, it can kind of block all the other healing and positive effects. The fifth layer is self, ego, image, confidence, etc. And I deliberately keep this to the end because, as I said, there is a method. Now, if the person talks to you and says, "Oh, I am used to suppressing my emotions," the immediate tendency of a lot of people is to give agrimony, bring out what is suppressed. This is not always wise. People may not be able to handle it and comes out like an outburst. So I ask people, I never give agrimony without giving other remedies for 2, 3 weeks, reducing the anger level, and then ask the person, are you ready to let it come out? And many times I'm told, please don't. It'll upset my marriage, my in laws, my job. Uh, I'm not ready to speak out yet. Same applies to a number of remedies. You have to be ready to take a remedy before it is given to you. So I said I follow a very methodical approach. I listen for 2 hours. My last session yesterday was 3 hours. I need to know everything about the person, from beginning to end, childhood. I may not deal with every issue as it comes up. Sometimes, as I said, you put certain issues on hold. But I need to know what's underneath and what not to disturb, how not to jangle this person up. Many people say, after taking remedies, I'm actually more confused and distressed than before because the remedies have been taken kind of at random. You know, very often a person doesn't themselves know what is the important symptom in their particular thing in life, and very often they won't admit to it. And then, if you disturb it accidentally, you end up with a reaction. A reaction can be against someone else, and sometimes a reaction is against you, you know, because they feel that you deliberately give them X particular remedy. So, systematically, first one deals with current crisis. Is this person in crisis mode at the moment? If so, reduce that anxiety, reduce the crisis. Let the person calm down a bit. Okay. Then you can move on to other remedies. But always first calm a person down, cut out the anxiety, and then deal with the rest. The second layer is walnut, is the past. This is important because people carry forward a lot of issues from their childhood. Could be against parents, could be school issues, could be anything. And you should know about them. Okay. It's like one woman asked me, can you please help my daughter with her asthma? The first question I asked her, is there a lot of conflict uh, that this child is seeing? And the answer was yes, my husband is violent, he sometimes beats me, and the child has witnessed it. Okay? And that is the origin of asthma in this case. So if there are issues in the past, and many people have these issues, it could be sexual abuse in the family, uh, it could be getting slapped around by the mother or father, okay? It could be a drunken parent who's abusive. Any of these actually scar us very deeply, and we should be aware of them. And there are specific remedies to deal with them. The word walnut came out of my mouth. Walnut is the remedy to let go of past trauma, broad thing. Okay? And you can actually watch it in action by thinking of the trauma, taking walnut, and you will watch that trauma dissipate. There's a very clear reason behind this. After the Gulf War, people understood and discovered that there was a lot of PTSD. So a lot of research was done worldwide. And the Danish found that the brain holds the memory of an incident in one place, one location, and the emotions associated with it in a different location. So it is possible to release the emotion without disturbing the memory itself. Okay, unlike electroshock. So the walnut remedy helps us get over and release these past traumas. And sometimes, until you do that, you are not going to make progress further down the road. That person's mind will always retreat into that state of trauma, and any remedies you give are literally bouncing off them. Okay? That's far too many cases come to me like this. The third layer is anger, and this is probably one of the most common causes of a range of illnesses. Okay? I've specified somewhere, I'm quoting you one case, specified somewhere that unless you have been exposed to radiation, carcinogenic chemicals, certain, what can I call it, environmental issues, correct, which can cause cancer easily. And then you'll notice it's not just you getting the cancer, there'll be people around you who participated in the same or was exposed to the same, and they're also developing cancer. A well known case today is of American soldiers who were destroying their weapons in Iraq. And these weapons contain all types of metals and chemicals. And they were standing next to them, inhaling those toxins. And it has definitely led to an outbreak of severe illness among these people. But barring such incidents, physical incidents, 9 out of 10 times the root of cancer is anger, hatred, bitterness. I'll give you one recent case. A student of mine wanted help with a patient of hers, and she has cancer of the breast and is getting worse. So I asked her, what about anger? And she said, no, the lady says she's a very cheerful person. She's not angry. She wants to help others. She's actually very cool, very calm, etc., etc. I said, not possible. Ask about her childhood. So the next day she came back and said, wow, this lady erupted, blew up. She hates some mother for whatever reason I didn't go into, correct? And she carries this hatred within her all the time, every minute. I said, well, there's your cause of cancer, correct? Anger is like, as they say, drinking acid, hoping it will burn the other person. That doesn't happen. Extreme anger, disappointment, bitterness, all these are poisonous to us. And very often a person will not come out with these things. You have to pointedly ask them. You have to probe. And that's why I don't like this peeling the onion business. I need to know what is deep within a person's background. And that includes childhood anger against father for drinking, mother, home violence, call it what you like. The fourth layer is fear. This is another big block when trying to heal people. Their fears pull them back. The person may be struggling to get ahead in his job or to open up and speak about what he's feeling. But fear is holding him back and will continue to hold him back. And you may give them remedies for self confidence, etc., etc. But ultimately, the fear will pull them into the state because that state of denial, etc., not engaging with things is a comfortable place. So people retreat behind their fears. No, you know, I'm afraid of this, therefore I can't do that, therefore I cannot do X, I cannot do Y. Fear becomes an excuse. Okay. And you need to bring this down. Also, because the person is suffering, whether they know it or not, that fear is interfering with their sleep, is bothering their stomach, they're not digesting their food. Then all kinds of fancy names are given to this. But the root of this thing is fear. That fear is hitting that person's stomach. We all know it. Common saying, you know, I have fear like a pit in my stomach, you know. And fear very often impacts that particular area. It affects other things too, but it starts its effects from the stomach. And as I said, it can upset everything from your digestion to X to Y to Z. Now, the last layer is self image. This is actually a very critical layer of healing because a lot of people have issues with self image and it manifests in all kinds of things from acne to leukoderma to skin diseases, eczema. All these tend to arise out of a damaged self image. So, building a person's confidence, making them believe that they are capable of doing everything, helping them overcome self-image issues is very important. I have a number of people I'm dealing with, serious issues. But the first thing they'll ask if they're women, can you please get rid of these spots on my face? Can I get a glowing, robust pink complexion? I said, but is that the most important thing? And you realize the answer is yes. They're so caught up in their self-image, you know. It's like a lady came to work for me last month, and I gave her some remedy because she was looking tired. But the first thing was, "Sab dawai dena hai to make me fair. Give me something that will make my skin fair." I said, listen, you're born the way you are. One can help with skin blemishes, even scars will disappear, but I can't help you by changing your complexion. That's not so easy to do. But yes, your skin will look better, the puffiness will go from your eyes, and you'll, on the whole, look better. I can't make you fair. No, at least I have not explored that aspect of it. The remedy elm. There are three, four remedies which you can always add to your face cream, and people report wonderful results. Elm, crabapple, olive, what else? Impatiens. These four remedies in your cream applied at night will definitely improve the quality of your skin. They may not make you a fair person. Okay, and that's genetics. But the critical area of self confidence comes in achievement, in your work, in personal life. Correct? With many men, it leads to erectile dysfunction. Uh, and you really need to deal with this self image issue as quickly in life as possible. Once such a person has grown to be 30, 40, and 50, carrying these self image problems with them, it becomes more difficult to heal them. A parent should identify this during the child's teens, college years. Hey, this boy or girl doesn't have enough confidence in themselves. Try to fix it as early in life as possible. You know, it's difficult otherwise. Uh, Rajiv, I need to stop this for just 2 seconds.
Rajiv, hello. Rajiv, are you there?
It's coming on recording.
Oh,
Obviously,
I
I
see.
am here.
Okay, okay. Sorry. My apologies.
Yeah. So, coming back to this issue of self image, it interferes with our careers, it interferes with our personal lives, it generally affects the quality of life for a person. And here's another case. Yes, why do I deal with self image last? Sometimes one also deals with that earlier on. It's not a hard and fast rule, but when you change a person's self image, their behavior is likely to change. So if you give a person remedies like hornbeam, larch, centauri, which give you a nice kick on the self esteem issue, they make you more confident, but they also make you more aggressive because you're not used to handling this particular emotion. So I keep this layer to the last Deal with anger, fear, other issues first. Get the person to a point where they are relatively happy and comfortable with who they are. And then start boosting things like self confidence. Okay? Assertion. Centauri is a remedy to assert yourself. But given too early, and I know it's a lot of practitioners in the West say, hey, you must give Centauri. Let that person speak out. Let them walk out of the relationship or, change their job or whatever. And I always tell them, I said, this is not fair. You live in a culture where you have social service, free medical, free this, free that. It's easy for you to go out, get an apartment, and even get a job. I said, you can't tell a woman in India, oh, you're hassled with your in laws, take Centauri and you speak out. She'll also probably get thrown out. Okay? So, certain remedies like hornbeam, Centauri, etc., are not ideally given early in the game. You must calm the person down. You must cut down the level of emotional build-up inside that person. Okay? And when that is done, these remedies can transform your life. They can take a person who's timid, unafraid, afraid to speak even to women. I've had a friend like that. He just could not do it. And as a result, he was very lonely. Once I got him out of that, his whole life was changed. He was able to walk up to a woman at a party and say, hi, I think you look nice, you know, and whatever it may be. He could actually initiate a conversation with someone. Many times there are people who uh, are lonely, especially in their 50s, but they don't go out because somewhere they've lost a bit of confidence. Remedies like water violet help them loosen up, open up. And I've had a number of people tell me, hey, I've started dropping in by my neighborhood bar. I've started going to parties. I've started meeting people. Okay. And with that come relationships and various other things. But if you're locked up in your own house because you lack confidence in yourself, then nothing is going to come and break down your door. Uh, Believe me, you have to get out into the world. You have to demonstrate certain confidence, certain maturity, and then you will attract the right type of people into your life. So, this layer of self image, confidence, belief in yourself is actually, as I said, extremely critical. It's one of the major healing areas in a human being. And all of us must realize that, you know, there's some things in our life that have left us a little bit shaky in terms of confidence. It could be failures at work or at school. It could be that people who are a little overweight. Now, the main thing is best to lose that weight, okay, and avoid doing what it was that was helping you put on weight. Get back to normal. Yes, boosting your confidence and making you feel good uh, may not achieve anything till you get back into some reasonable shape and are confident of interacting with a woman or someone else, vice versa. And very tragic in terms of girls especially, where a little extra weight, a little this, or a blemish on the face, or some minor issue is really damaging that person's self-image. But at a much deeper level, okay, that self-image issue can lead to eczema, to cirrhosis, sorry, no, sclerosis, yeah, lead to all kinds of skin issues, which get very, very painful at times. So whenever you find such issues, right, uh, you can pretty well bet on the fact that there is a self-image issue. Example I can give you is a friend's driver who admitted, he said, listen, I'm just a driver. My brothers are XYZ. I am embarrassed by the fact that I am not the best earning member in the family. Okay. He admitted it. He said, this is really what bothers me when I look to the rest of my family. And as a result of this, he was getting blisters on his hands, patches, all kinds of things. A lot of girls have this during their periods because it's not been explained to them and they're embarrassed by what is happening to their bodies. I told you, guys get this very often if they have faced a rejection from one woman. Then it becomes difficult. I had a staff member of mine, and this is very significant, at least in India, was wanting to get married. The lady had traveled and was not so rigid about morality. She wanted to go to bed with him before marriage. And he immediately said no. I asked him why. He said, listen, if I don't perform well, she might still cancel the marriage. But once we are married, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, she's married to me and she has to accept me. A very deep fear of inadequacy in that person. This happened to my business partner when he had was divorced after a very painful, sterile kind of marriage. And he met an extremely attractive but aggressive uh, Indian American woman. Now, this guy who prides himself on being an alpha male told me, Ashok, I just can't function sexually. I'm intimidated. And it took just 30 days, not longer, not years and months, of taking hornbeam and something else. And one day he comes and tells me, I'm okay now. Okay? And it never occurs again. Once you
Ashok sir,
get,
we are just 2 minutes away
yeah, I
for this
understand.
session.
Yeah. So once you deal, and this is the last point to be made, once you fix something using Bach remedies, it is usually permanent. This is very significant. If you follow the process correctly, go layer by layer by layer, and deal with emotions in their order of priority, you're very likely to get a situation where the problem never comes back again. Most healing with Bach remedies is permanent because it also involves an internal emotional change. That person doesn't react and behave the same way as before. Okay? I told you there's a reason I'm passionate, and this is it. These remedies not only work, they work quickly, they work gently, and the effect is permanent. Okay? Thanks.